welcome to FountainFX on Thursday the 17th of July 2014. We're carrying on looking at the US dollar against the South African rand. As you can see, the buy order down here at the bottom, because of previous support, has proven to not be valid. Basically, price has pushed up from there, but it didn't push up any further, or didn't break through the previous highs at the 10.72. In fact, it's created a lower high and has turned and fallen, creating lower lows. So basically we are seeing that price is actually in a downtrend at the moment, a very short-term downtrend, but all the same a downtrend. So while we have a stop down here below this previous low, we can honestly say that we're actually buying while price is selling. So not a clever thing to do. We could wait and see if price gets all the way back up to our entry to be able to close it out for a small loss. So we can just watch this at the moment and try and minimize our trade, but basically we should be going south rather than north. That's what price is showing us at the moment. There's no upward momentum. The other thing to note about trading the South African rand is the carry trade, which is basically the overnight interest that you get charged for holding a trade open. So when you do it with other currency pairs that have got smaller differences in interest rate between, let's say, the euro and the US dollar, where they're virtually the same, or not a huge difference between the two, you won't get charged a lot for holding the trade open. So I'll give you an example. If I say, let's say the pound, the currency interest rate for the pound is currently 1%, and the interest rate for the US dollar is 1%, and therefore they're at the same interest rates, then if I trade either buy or sell the pound or the dollar, because they're actually the same, and I hold my trade open for, let's say, 3 months, I don't get charged any difference in interest rate, or I don't benefit in any difference in interest rate, because they are the same, or there's a very small difference. So however, the interest rate, let's say the interest rate in South Africa is 9%, and the interest rate in the United States is 1%. I'm just making this up now. I know it's less than 1% in the US. I'm trying to do it for simple. So therefore the difference is 8%. That 8% gets charged over the period of 1 year. So if I'm trading on $1,000, then therefore I'm leveraging $100,000. So I get charged 8% of $100,000, which is $8,000. So I get charged a fee of $8,000 over a 12-month period. Okay, or I benefit by $8,000. But seeing as I'm buying US dollars and selling South African rand, that 8% is against me. If I was selling the rand and buying the dollar, which obviously it's showing it being a better trade, then I would be benefiting. Okay, however, because of that carry trade, I'm doing the reverse, so therefore that $8,000 is against me. So minus $8,000 because I'm buying the dollar, selling the rand. So what I need to realize is that if I take that 8,000 and I divide it by, I think, however many trading days there are in the year, which is, we take it as 220, then that's basically how much I'm paying for keeping my trade open overnight. And let's just quickly calculate what that means. So that means that $8,000 divided by 220, it's actually more than that in terms of the difference, but divided by 220 works out $36 a day. So it's going to cost me $36 to keep this overnight, to keep this trade open. The reality is it's actually cost me $99. That's been the overnight swap fee. So that's the one thing you need to be aware of when you're trading the US dollar yen or the US dollar rand, etc., or even the US dollar against the Australian dollar. You need to be looking at the right direction of the trade. That will also help filter down. So in other words, we should be selling the US dollar against the rand at the moment because of the difference in currency interest rates, and also because the South African rand is at a low against the US dollar, therefore the US dollar is at a high against the South African rand. The only way in which you can make a difference is if the market actually moves considerably in your favour. Fortunately, while I've been doing this recording, we have gone from a low of the 10.65 and it's now pushing up and we're at 10.68. So we're looking at, that's moved 30 points since I've been talking to you. So suddenly we've found this support down here and price is pushing up. I have just moved my stop to just below this low. So managing my risk, and hopefully we see that this price then pushes up and we get a break in this trend line. Either that or I can close out for a very small profit and we can wait until it does break and we do actually have some upward momentum. So that's really it from FountainFX. Hopefully this gives you some clarity on how to trade the South African rand against the US dollar, and we will catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.